Number 1, give myself and my art time alone. This one is probably my biggest regret. I wish when I had started out that I had only worked on my art. I didn't focus on anything else, just worked on my art, because this would have allowed me to really hone my craft, find out what I really enjoy doing, what I don't enjoy doing, what works, what doesn't work. Instead, when I started out, I thought I needed to work on both my art and the social media at the same time, and what ended up happening is I ended up not working on either very well at all. So after about a year of trying to make this work, what ended up happening was I just deleted almost all of my social media. I deleted my Facebook, my TikTok, my Twitter. About the only thing I kept was my Instagram, but I kept my Instagram in such a way that I would only be using it when I wanted to use it. I turned off all the notifications for it. I didn't want the app to bother me. I wanted to use it when I wanted to use it, not when the app wanted me to use it. And this ended up being really good for me because I was working just on my art. I wasn't focused on anything else. I was just trying to learn how to do the art that I want to do it well, and really figure out where I want to be with my art, where I want to go, and just generally get better at it. Number 2, make my art the first thing I do every day. Now, this one probably had the biggest impact on my productivity, and the reason why is because, well, before I started doing this, I would work on my art usually on my days off or when I was coming home from work, but doing that never really worked well for me because I was usually too tired after coming home from work. I wouldn't want to work on my art or anything like that. I would just want to lay down, relax, or something like that. This all changed, however, when I started working on my art first thing every single day. It would be the very first thing I would do after I wake up, and I rearranged my schedule so that I could make this possible. I would start my day with my art, and then I would go do my job after that. The productivity in my artwork, both in quality and quantity, increased probably tenfold once I started working on my art first thing every day. It's something I wish I knew when I first started out, and it is one of my biggest pieces of advice that I might give to anybody who's thinking about starting their own art career. Number 3, schedule my art daily as if it was my real job. I had never really understood what it meant to treat your art like a job until I started scheduling my artwork daily as if it was my actual job. I don't mean to say I would write down on paper, noon to X time or whatever. I would do my art sort of in conjunction with point number 2, where I start every day with my art. I would plan to do my artwork on specific days throughout the week, usually Monday through Friday. And if I needed a day off, I would just plan myself a day off. Scheduling it like this really made me feel like I was an artist at a real art job. It finally felt like I was taking it seriously, and I was taking myself seriously as an artist. Number 4, be patient with myself. One of the biggest lessons I've learned in these 2.5 years up to this point is that I have to be patient with myself. Nothing I want to achieve is ever going to be achieved overnight, and if I really want what I want, I have to give myself the time to do it. Being patient with myself doesn't just mean give myself time. It means allow myself to make mistakes, allow myself to learn from those mistakes, remind myself that I don't know everything, that I need to learn certain things, and I need to allow myself to brush up on those things whenever I need to. This was so important to me, in fact, that I wrote "Be patient with yourself" next to my drawing station so that I can always have that reminder. And the results from doing this were pretty amazing because I never realized how much I really could accomplish in a couple months or even a year if I were to just give myself that time to do it. Number 5, do not compare myself to other artists. This was probably the most toxic experience I had when I first started my art career. I found myself following dozens of other artists and noticing how better they do than me in social media, either by the amount of views, by the amount of likes, or by the amount of followers that they have. And I would always compare that to me. Maybe I was doing better, maybe I was doing worse than they were. Usually I was doing worse. But I found out that this is a pretty common thing, and it has an actual name. It's upward social comparison. Basically, when somebody compares themselves to other people that they view as superior or better, this has pretty adverse effects on people and usually leads to pretty poor decision making. For me, I found myself always trying to do better, always trying to reach a certain goal or mark that I felt like I had to get, or otherwise I was not a good artist. I wish I knew that that was not at all what made a good artist. And during that time, I wasn't really making good art. In fact, I wasn't drawing at all. I found my way out of this when I realized you can't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. And I basically stopped following dozens of artists. I deleted a lot of social media that I was on, and I just put it all to bed. I just focused on myself and my art and realized that my journey is not the same as others. This helped me out a lot because I was able to develop tunnel vision focus on what I wanted to achieve, and finally allowed my art to develop in ways that I never would have achieved before. So that's all I got for this one, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you got something out of it, please subscribe and like. It helps me out a lot. If you want to share your experience, let me know down below in the comments, and we'll see y'all again soon. Thanks, guys.